Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scotts, and Rogers. This is part 2 of our Wednesday video festival. So here, let's take reverse alphabetical. The questions and concerns. We'll deal with Zoe's concerns. Zoe is a friend of the Doctrine. You can find her on most weekends down at the TTOT, which I forgot to do a plug for that. Lizzie's fine contribution to the blogosphere. TTOT is a 2-day blog hop. It's not as daunting as it may seem, but it's very, very cool. It's everything that a blog hop's supposed to be. You write stuff in comment, and we have a 10 list thing. But you get to do a whole bunch of stuff on the threads, and it's very active. That's the main thing. Closest thing to a conversation that I've seen short of a Wakefield Doctrine call-in or a video brunch. You gotta go. Start Saturday morning, write something, and you'll really enjoy it. In fact, I'll make this one-time offer. If you join us for the first time, and you say that I said it on Wednesday, then I'll contribute 2 of the 10 items that we have for a blog thing. Enough said there. So Zoe had some questions about being, a predominant worldview versus the secondary and tertiary aspects. I'll mention right now we have Secret Rule 1.6. Secret Rule 1.6 says that no one can tell you, at least with any force or authority, which type you are. And when we talk about types, we're talking about predominant worldview. And then you have the other 2. But nobody can, and I can say this, nobody can say, hey, you're a Clark, you're a Scott, you're a Roger. That's up to you. Now, that won't prevent me or some of the others saying, hey, betcha what's her name is a Scott, or, he's surely a Roger. That kind of thing. But that's not the same thing as somebody representing themselves, reppers of intelligence and authority, insisting that you have to assume the mantle of one of the 3. It just doesn't work that way. You heard it here. So that's a true thing. So the trick, and in an odder way, inferring, understanding, and identifying your own predominant worldview can be more difficult than it is to do that for other people. A note about worldviews. It's a reality, personal reality. That's a premise. The basic premise of the Wakefield Doctrine says that there's such a thing as personal reality. When we describe the 3 worldviews, the personal reality of the outsider, the predator, and the herd member. Now, from there we take the labels, and they're metaphorical, we all know that. But we are quite serious about it being a reality. When you're talking about a Clark, I'll use myself as an example. I grew up as a outsider, as a Clark. And I spent my life being a Clark, practicing the skills. Remember what we said in the part 1 about as a personality theory, this is more an identification of coping skills developed in a certain context. I did say that, by the way. That's what we mean when we say that we lose a train of thought, because we just have to backpedal until we recover it. The idea of the worldview says that when a Clark is walking around with purple hair and nails sticking in their nose and insisting that they want to be a mortician or a insurance executive, it's not that they're not listening to you as you rip your hair out saying, okay, great, you want to be an insurance executive, look at them, look at how they dress, you got to look like that. It's not that they're not hearing you, it's not that they're choosing not to hear or take the message. It just that in their world it doesn't exist that way. The one of the key values to the doctrine is that concept of the personal reality, because it explains a lot. when you try to help somebody and understand how to do something, and no matter what, they don't, you see it as why don't they see that? It's plain as the nose on their face. Well, in some realities, nose is on the shoulders, not on the face. If you accept that, the rest makes a lot of sense. So that's what predominant worldviews are all about. We also have a saying, you can't break it. Try it out. Wakefield doctrine, that is. And it's true. If you think, okay, if I use myself for an example, I'm going to decide, oh man, those Scots, they sound cool. I'm a Scot. Damn it. Hey. Okay, that's good. And then as I go through the day and look through the eyes of a Scot, look through the worldview of a Scot, it won't be very much in focus. What's the word? There's a word for consistency. It won't be very true to the to the form. It won't work. Short form. And that's what we mean by you can't get it wrong and you can't break it. Try being a Scot. Okay, if you're not a Scot, then it's just never going to gel. It's never going to click. Yeah, it just won't make sense. So that's a part 2. Cut